which I normally forget. So welcome, and to our, I think our third annual meeting. Well done, Seeds, and our
the right button.
Our second meeting online. So pleased to be able to do this every year. So at least, even though everybody doesn't turn up, it gives us the opportunity to actually invite people to come and talk, see a few people from around the world, and give people the opportunity to watch the video afterwards. So that's what we're doing. So welcome, everybody. There's not too many of us, so let me just ask just to go around, and if you can give your name and the country you're from, that would be great. So, because other people haven't heard that. So let's start in the top left-hand corner on my screen with Marco.
Hello, I'm Marco. I come from Italy. And yes, I come from Italy. So
I'm one of the leaders of the chapter as well. So thanks for that.
Yeah, we organized the Italian chapter in Italy with Chris and Carlo Perfetto.
Thank you. And Lieselot. Lieselot, can you hear?
Okay, I'm Lieselot from Belgium. I'm now in Holland for the moment. It's great. I'm chapter leader together with Anton and Pout for the Lowlands, and also in the board of SFiO. Happy to be here.
And Tim.
Good morning, I'm Tim. I'm in the UK. I live just south of Manchester in the Peak District. Yeah, that's me.
One of the organisers of the SF retreat. Don't hide your...
So I'm one of the organisers of the Soul Retreat in Switzerland in August, which you're all welcome. There's about 6 places left, and I'm also on the board of the UK SFP, Solution Focused Practitioners Association.
Thank you. And Debbie and Dave. Debbie and Dave, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Greetings. We are both from the US, but we've been in Singapore for 33 years, so we claim Singapore.
Okay, thank you. And Jerry. Oh, and so we should say also you're head of the chapter there, aren't you, in Singapore?
Right, yes.
And Jerry.
Hey everybody, I'm Jerry. I'm living in Paris. I'm doing my best to spread the word in France because so I'm hoping to open a chapter here.
Okay, very good. We'll look forward to that, Jerry. And Wim.
Hi, I'm Wim from Belgium. I'm one of the attendants of the chapter of the Lowlands, who are led by Lieselot, Anton and Pout. And recently I have done some thinking with Annie and Christian about a website and online library.
Good, thank you. And Stefan.
Hi, I'm Stefan. I'm Austrian, living in Germany. And yes, maybe you see just a wall here. Yes, I'm not in jail. It's just the heating here. So that's the way where you just see this wall here.
Okay, thank you. And Annie.
Hello, I'm Annie Bordelot. I'm a board member now since the beginning of SFiO, and working intensively at the moment on the website. So we look forward to telling you more about that. And nice to see you all. Very nice to have this gathering.
Good, thank you. And Jesper.
Danish guy living in Switzerland, still working in Denmark as well. Just a member of SFiO, I would say. Yeah.
Thank you. And Lillian.
Hi, I'm originally from South Africa, but spent a lot of my adult life in the UK and now in Singapore, where I've been for the last 12 years. So Debbie and Dave, I know. And I'm on the board of SFiO. I think I'm one of the Asian voices, and I'm particularly interested in marketing and supporting local chapters to become well known.
Thank you. And Wendy.
Hi, I'm Wendy from Belgium, SFiO member, co-organizer of last year's summer retreat. and yeah, working with horses in bringing SF about.
Thank you. Chris.
I'm the second South African on the page. My wife is Italian, hence the move to Italy. We've been in Europe for a few years now, and I'm one of the founding members of the SFiO chapter in Italy with Marco and Carlo. Grazie.
Ciao. So, Seeds.
Hi there, I'm from the Netherlands and I'm an SFiO member. Yeah?
Good, thank you.
I do a lot, but that should be enough.
Yeah, indeed. And Cathy.
Hi, I'm Hungarian living in Switzerland. Just one of the organizers of the upcoming Soul World annual conference taking place in Budapest. And I'm a SFiO contributor, and I'm just before my review if I get an answer on, and I just was part of a review process, and I think it's fun.
Thank you. So I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand, Cathy. Did you say you have just been reviewed?
No, I'm just waiting for getting an answer on my wanting to be reviewed.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Huh? Okay. Sadly, Anton is not with us today. He had to go off to a market.
Yeah. It will happen when it's time.
Okay. Joe, can you risk putting your mic on?
Yeah, hi, I'm Joe from Singapore, working with young people. So one of those organizing a SF retreat in Asia, happening in October. Yeah, happy to see all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Trevor in Sweden.
Hi, it's actually Trevor in Uruguay. I moved from Sweden, so
right.
I'm dialing in from our farm in Uruguay now. But yeah, I'm Trevor, English and a bit of Swedish as well. And I spend most of my time being chair of the International Association of Facilitators, but also like to be a part of this group too.
Good. Well, welcome. And well, I think that's our first person in Uruguay. So we'll notch up another country. So great. Thanks. And Paul, good morning.
Good morning.
Just everyone just introducing themselves and their country and what they do with SFiO.
My country's been around for a very long time, but it might be leaving Europe soon. Sorry, I didn't want to introduce controversy too early.
Yeah, thank you for that. At least you didn't mention the B word. Okay.
Not yet.
The B word.
Okay, so that's everyone introduced at least, and so what we're going to do is work our way through a review of progress, and then we're going to just do some of the kind of legal requirements, the financial statements and the voting in of the board. So which won't be final because we've allowed it to go 2 days over just in case there's any latecomers want to vote after today. So excuse me looking down here, it's just that I've got my crib sheet. So the first thing we're going to look at is support for existing initiatives, and you may know that one of our strategic strands is to support what's out there rather than trying to start things anew when things are already happening. So things like Soul World. So one of the things we took on this year was the SF list. So we paid for the SF list because that was being paid for by private individuals before. And so we took on the responsibility for that, and I think it's still one of the most useful forums that I've seen around, and just incredible some of the conversations, but B, when you need help you get it really quickly. So Jesper, I know you're one of the key lights in that along with Mark, so a big thank you to you for that. We also we found that the best way to support the Soul World conferences, rather than subsidizing them or paying money in to subsidize people to go, was to get the learning out of them, because so many of these things happen and then you lose all that learning that's happened. So we sponsor videos at Soul World. We were in Romania last year. We got the 4 talks from Romania last year, which will be published in the next couple of months. We've been busy with interaction up to now, but we'll get those videos out as soon as we can. And we'll be doing the same thing in Hungary, so, with Soul World in Hungary, and thanks to Cathy for that. And also, we're very busy on the website publicizing other conferences. So whenever anyone's got a conference, we're keen to publicize those as well if they're to do with organizations. So that's what we're up to. And Annie or anyone else, would you like to add anything to that? Support for existing initiatives? Have I missed anything?
Just a little, just sow the seed, I guess, for the conference in Hungary to look at as well. Maybe making a special edition of the journal around that. So not only the videos would come out of it, but also some of the articles. We need to talk about that, Cathy.
Yeah, so Cathy just put a thumb up there, so that's good to know. All right, so communications, are going to hand over to Annie because we've got some news here. So Annie, it's all yours.
So this year has been about looking at what we have and how we can structure it in a good way for the. So we've been sharing a lot of user stories, trying to find out how would people be using the website, using a library. So the priority is the library still now. We've, I'd say we have 70% of everything we need to get it going. So we've got a YouTube channel for all the videos. We're having somebody currently work on, I forget what you call it, top and tail of a video. So that like an SFiO introduction and ending to the videos. That's, so a lot of things are underway, only I think most of you can't see that yet. So it's happening in the background. We've also got 2 or 3 different WordPress solutions that have libraries incorporated in them. So the idea is really that our website will have a new design, will have a new feel to it. Most of the information we find on it now will still be found with the calendar in a more, What we've done is we've adapted the site from the SFCT site. And now we need to really make it SFiO. And that's why we have a half solution at the moment and we want a full solution. And we're also looking at contributors contributing their articles in that library and growing the library slowly. So that's anything else that crosses your mind, John, regarding communications?
No, one of the things we want to do is interaction, the old printed copies of interaction. All of the ones that we're able to get, we're going to be approaching the authors to get copyright permission to publish those in our library. Some things we can't, the classic articles we can't put in because we don't have copyright permission for that. So, but maybe we could look at getting copyright permission for that. So we'll see. But
as a learning platform, the LinkedIn platform will continue. We've got 350 members there. The only thing that's changed is that LinkedIn has changed their group settings. That's why we can't send out any announcements anymore. It's gotten a little more complicated, to be honest. And if you don't have your notifications clicked, then people are not getting the notifications and you might not have as much access as before. So there's a setting that needs to be changed in LinkedIn now to get notified.
Yeah, so what we're going to do to help with that is monthly basis, we're going to send you an email through MailChimp that will tell you what are the latest things that have been updated on the site.
Wonderful.
Okay, so our apologies for that. It was I wondered why I suddenly was not getting any news from my groups, and Annie informed me eventually about that. So thank you for that, Annie. That was brilliant. So things are happening. Those were the library, the website interaction, which we'll talk about later, are very much the things that people were top of the list when the contributors said, this is what we want to spend money on. Those were the things. So we are focusing on the things where people said, these are the things where we really want to spend money. So thanks again.
Just quickly check with Wim. Wim, is there anything else that comes to your mind that we should share? I forgot to double check.
No, I think that's indeed about what it is until now. We still have a lot to do, I think.
Okay, thank you.
I have a small question.
Yes, please, and anyone, please ask questions. Yeah.
To Annie, will there be easy access from the website to the SF list? Because this is a tool that's really working well, and I can imagine that if everything is on one place, it would be really easy for people.
That's something we could add right now, actually. Just add it to the top hits of the website. Needs to be done. Thank you. Noted.
Yeah, great idea. Hadn't thought of that one. So that's good. Anybody else got questions on that? Or anything else we've said so far? No? Okay.
If anything else, yes?
Yeah.
Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. If anything else, I have at this moment about 30 people who want courses in the Netherlands, yeah, but they want some, we talked about it, some certification. So you're good in SF. There are other specialists in other things, but they want some certification. And I don't know how to deal with it because we don't know that possibility, I think.
Yeah. Does anyone want to pick up on that? I can pick up on that. But... So I think it's a great idea, Seeds. The review process is designed for to be showing that people are skilled in it. And I think the original decision with regard to that certification was not to go down the certification route, but to use the review process, because that was a more realistic assessment of whether people were using it rather than what they just learned. It was application.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. So I'm of the same mind as you. It would be good to see some kind of certification as they have in the
Agile,
in Agile, in Six Sigma. They're all got certification processes. So it would be good to see that. UK SFP, and Paul can probably speak on this because I know you're one of the reviewers. UK SFP have a certification process, but that's very much aimed at one-on-one coaching. If I'm correct there, Paul, it's not aimed at organizational things necessarily. So, Paul, do you want to jump in on that one, or Tim?
Yes. I mentioned a couple other things as well. So, UKSFP has certification now, and it's aimed at therapists and coaches, but only in the sense that it's one-on-one as the model. You present a first session by way of a tape and a transcript, and it's got a very tough hurdle to get certified. The IAF, Trevor's here, also has a certification process, and the Applied Improvisation Network has certified practitioners, which is a bit closer to the SF model in that you aren't, it's a non-traditional model, otherwise it's not that similar. It's you show that you're contributors to the community to get some points, and you show that you've got a business to get some points. If you qualify on those two fronts, you can be a certified practitioner. And now we're looking at credentialing, which is whether we'll say we think people are skilled at doing the thing. We've not got to that yet, but we're looking at it.
Yeah.
Could I
please,
yeah. I hesitate to speak, but I'm putting myself out there. I know that some years ago, there was a lot of upset and controversy around IASTI, the International Alliance of Solution-Focused Teaching Institutes. So there are, that still exists, and there are teaching institutes in the US, Asia, and Europe who are a part of that alliance and offer certification.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. Then there is a CCPC, the Canadian Council of Professional Certification, international. And then some of us, so it depends if you're looking for just solution-focused therapy certification or coaching. So some of us do certification in solution-focused coaching and are also in alignment with the ICF accreditation process. So I suppose if you're interested in these, you can contact me offline. I'm happy to share the how and more details.
I think, may I say something? I think the interesting question is, what good should the certification do? There's a lot of certification process. I see my wife agree, yeah.
I just wanted to ask, what do they want?
Exactly, yes. Because before talking about all the possibilities, there's a wide range. And I know Katja and I are very well into the ICF certification and how that fits the SF approach. But I think the really good question is, for what good should the certification do for these people?
Yeah.
I can tell a lot about it.
Sorry, Annie, I'll come back to you.
I just would suggest that we really take this on offline.
Yeah. It's a big discussion.
That we get back in touch with you. And Debbie, thank you so much. And if anyone else is interested around this topic, because also with the reviewed contributors, there's something we can do there, and we need to explore it. So let's explore it this year.
I can pinpoint the question. I can explain the question. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much indeed. So thank you, Seat. So chapter development is next. So we've got active chapters in Singapore, in the UK. We've got 2 in Finland. Have we got anyone from Finland on today? Although there was supposed to be. Finland. We've got the Dutch chapter for Belgium and Netherlands. We've got the German chapter. I'm not sure. Do you call it the German chapter or Germany, Annie? Yeah, German chapter, which if people want to can come in from Austria and Switzerland as well. And of course this year the new chapter in Italy, and really pleased to see that. And thank you, Chris and Marco, you're on the call at the moment. And then I'm told that there's a chapter potentially in Romania being developed in Timișoara. And Jerry has already mentioned that he's trying to get the chapter up and running in France. And the big thing we want to get over is, to get a chapter set up, it's easy to do. We don't need a legal structure. We don't need contracts. It's really, open your doors and invite them in. And what we're looking at, and Lillian alluded to this, is what can we put together as packs for the chapters, and Andrew and Lillian I know are going to be talking about that. So Andrew Gibson and Lillian. So we'll look forward to see what comes from those discussions about how we can help the chapters. But really it's a fairly easy thing to set up, and we'll also be having a discussion about some kind of financial contributions for the chapters. So globally, we started the global online chapter, and that is proceeding reasonably well. It's the big issue is actually getting people wanting to do it. Delighted to say that Kat is going to be doing one in February. So really pleased to hear that. And that really, because of the spread of our contributors, particularly in places like Australia and America with huge geographic distances, it's really difficult to get people together. So having an online chapter really helps, except at the moment it's in English, and we appreciate sometimes people want that local language. But as a first step, the English does help. And the good thing about that is we get some really good videos from it as well. So you may have seen in Interaction, we had New Zealand recently. We captured Mark talking about SFBT2 and various other ones that we've done. Good morning, Alan. Very good morning, Alan. Very early in the morning, Alan. So pleased to see you. Would you like to introduce yourself, Alan, very quickly?
Alan Kay, Toronto, Canada, and long time
SF user.
Thank you. And one of the contributors to the global chapter as well. So you've done a video on Dom and, excuse me, sorry, name's gone right out of my head. But that will be also one of the ones we release soon. So so thank you for that. So those are the chapters. Any questions on chapters or any thoughts on chapters are always welcome, because it is a good way to start bringing new people in. Let's go see. Yeah, Cathy, did you?
Yes. I already asked you it once, but I just want to raise it here. If during the Solworld conference you would be capable to give very simple, very transparent information on what's the aim, how does it work, when yes, when rely on an existing association of SF people, I think it would be valuable for participants.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean when we say about Andrew and Lillian producing something as a pack. That we would want to have that by May, certainly, so that we can hand those out. It would be great if we could give it to every attendee at the conference.
Okay.
Son and dog. Welcome. So so any other thoughts or questions on chapters? Marco.
Yes.
Marco.
Well, I did a proposal about the logo, and we propose for each logo of each country to use the O of SFiO with the flag of the chapter. So in this way, we will have the logo of SFiO, but personally on every language that is in this way. So it working belonging, identification, but also connection with a big group of SFiO. But we need to do in the same way, in the same, I propose that only one creates, because if we create alone, we will be different and so not so much professional. We need to have the same standards of it. And this is the first proposal. Another proposal, but it's difficult, we will find, because we have solutions, and so we will find the easy way, was a proposal about money. I used to write in every my note to client that the % of the money that I receive from the project, it will go on the SFiO association. Always people become curious about this charity and ask. And so in this way, a % of my money pay the money for SFiO. We could do the same also, for example, for SFiO chapter. Of course, for SFiO members, it's free. But one thing is to use SFiO chapter to invite new people, to show to others. And so we need to understand how to use money. We start in Italy with the free way. Nobody pay. I, Carlo, and Chris, we just paid the room and food just to welcome. And it's quite difficult for us also to receive money because we are independent, and so invoice and so on and so on and so on. If we found a really nice way to all the money arrive to the SFiO Global in the bank account, I suppose. I don't know how we could do, and a % is dedicated to the chapter, and other % is for the association. So in this way, all contribute to this, but it's complicated in the invoice management.
Marco,
So
could I just give you an answer to that one?
Yeah. And I talked about that, and I think that is not an invoice, is the donation. In Italy, for example, if it's a donation, it's not about an invoice. You don't need an invoice. So we could also work about donation, and so everyone pay as they want. And in this way, we could not have a problem with invoice because it's donation. It's just like a charity.
So we already have a solution for that, which is Eventbrite. So Eventbrite allows you to, it would pay the money as we do with the UK. So when I collect money from people in the UK who are not SFiO contributors, that money is put into the bank account. And then because I pay personally for the room, I get that money to go towards my costs. So so we can do the financial payments very easily. We just need to work out with you as chapter heads how we give you access to that Eventbrite account. So we'll take that offline with the chapter heads. So that's doable. Okay, what was it? You seem to have a third point as well. And Annie, did you want to say something there?
I just want to comment on what you said, Marco. One with the flag and the O, I think is a wonderful, wonderful idea, because there are going to be rooms in the new website for every country as well, or every region that wants to be represented. So this is very, very, very nice. Thank you for that idea. And we can take that on with the designer. She can do it. Really, really, really nice. The other thing is that we are looking into supporting the chapters more closely now as well, financially too, for the rooms. So this, we need to finalize how exactly we're going to do it, but it should be free for the contributors, and we've had a lot of comments around this. So we're looking for a really smart solution so that there's not this complicated transfer of funds, so that we can really do it in a clean way, where it's fair for every chapter and encouraging to start chapters. And also it's our best chance to get new SFiO contributors through the chapters. We're meeting a lot of new people in that way, and they're getting connected to SF, and it's a great opportunity that we need to grasp, I think. Yeah, that's how I see it. I hope.
Can I make one final point though, just in case we get a raid by the EU officials? That we are not a charity. Okay, so we just need to make it clear on the video that we're not a charity. We are a company limited by guarantee and not for profit. Just wanted to clear that up. And Marco, so there was a third point you wanted to make? 2 great points, thank you so far.
Ziet iedereen nu mij?
Yeah.
Seeds, could you mute your microphone, please? Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
And Marco, did you want to say anything else?
We have the possibility also to come in the EPTA conference. It will be in Florence. It will be the International EPTA conference in Florence. But it's not only about therapists and so on, because they want also open to the consulting in company. So I will be the person who will check the proposal. So if you want to come to propose something in company, in solution focus, also in the EPTA conference in Florence will be the possibility to present and offer in solution focus in association, solution focus in organization. So SFiO is the perfect, and I will talk with them maybe in 2 weeks, and we will say also if we can, in a way, to present or to have a poster or something that also show about SFiO and so on and so on and so on. When I went in Sofia, I present a workshop about solution focus chart, was the article in, and I use in the flip chart also the logo of SFiO, the picture of the interaction, so more people know there will be an association, there will be an interaction, and so on and so on. And about interaction, I also was thinking about, I don't understand really well because the connection was not so nice with you, John, but we can publish in a way like in Amazon. So for us, it's free because we are member and we receive by file. But we can put also in like Amazon, and people can pay and print on demand. And this money will always arrive, for example, for the SFiO, and we decide what we manage. But in this way, there's also a possibility to print out the contribution of every interaction. So that's it.
Okay, just to give you a point on that, we are talking with an organisation that published the print interaction that online. They published it online, and they are free to air, as it were. So they don't charge for access. So that's one thing that we're looking at. How can we? They don't take videos and they don't take audios, and that's an issue for us, obviously. But it could be that we can transcribe the videos and make them into like articles. So that's something we can look at as well. So yeah, the only thing I can say is it's just time. These things take time. We need people to step forward to say, hey, I could take that on. And if it's just one job that actually makes it happen, then that would be great. But so far, you know, we're not getting people stepping forward to take those jobs on. So we could get that, things would move faster. So I just want to say that to everyone and everyone who's going to be watching this afterwards. Okay, but thank you. That's 3 really great ideas there, Marco, and we'll look into those. I've made a note here, but as I say, we're recording it. So. Okay, so the community of contributors, we have 118 people who are contributing, and by country, we're in Bulgaria, Canada, Denmark, Ghana, Greece, Hungary, South Africa, USA, 1 person in each of those countries. And now we can add Uruguay to the list. Thank you, Trevor. Then we have Ireland, Italy, Japan, and Romania with 2, Austria, France, and Netherlands, and Sweden with 3, Switzerland with 6, Australia with 7. This is like the Eurovision Song Contest, isn't it? Singapore with 8, Belgium with 14, Germany with 14, Finland with 19, but coming up on the post is United Kingdom with 22 points. So that's the first time the United Kingdom have come top of the Eurovision Song Contest for a very long time. So, but equally, Finland, what a great, you know, a small population, but a great number of people, and that's developed through. Marika's not here today, but I know they do a lot of work to get people into that, and it just shows you what you can do in a small country with some people who are really pushing. Solution focus in organizations. So there is hope. If you're in one of those countries with fewer people, there is hope. And it's one of the big things for next year is how do we get more contributors? So any comments on that? Any thoughts? Yeah, Chris.
No, I was just showing Marco. He said he lost the Italian contributors, and I just showed him 2.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. Chris, you're joining in the next month, I think. So yeah. Good. Any other points? Yeah, Wim.
Yeah, we also have spoken about it when we were thinking about the website and online library. That each chapter has its own culture, identity, needs. I think it can be very useful to ask these questions. How can we raise our amount of contributors to the SFiO within our countries so, for example, Belgium can have other needs than Italy can have. And I think that can be very interesting to know what are the needs of these people and how can we implement it within the structure of the website and online library.
Okay, thank you. Good. Any other points? Lieselot.
Yes, just an idea to make it really attractive. I don't know if we're considering that.
Sorry, Lieselot, we've lost you.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can now.
Yeah. So I was wondering that to make it really attractive for people to be a contributor, if we have been considering that a part of the website and all the articles to be viewed, that we can, I don't know, make a difference between contributors and non-contributors, because now I'm just wondering what's in it for contributors. What is the extra that they get that non-contributors are not getting?
Yeah. Any thoughts on that?
I agree on that. I think there should be an open part that can attract new contributors, you know, something, maybe the old issues or whatever, and then there should be a more close part. I think in the Danish ICF chapter, we are experimenting a little bit about that, talking about what's in it to be a member. And yeah, in a year's time, I will know if it has an effect. But I think it's worth discussing as a topic, maybe not now, but somehow see what's attractive for contributors.
Okay, and Katty?
Yeah, in this type of discussions, I'm usually the one, I always say the contributors are those ones who give more than the others. So I'm so much for letting see who are the contributors. This is great. You contribute, and you contribute for spreading SF. I would not be able to sort the information. This we give for those contributors, only for the. I'm a bit confused about this point, and if there will be a discussion on that, I come and I will give the sharing part of it. And contributing means contributing to even a wider community or a wider group of people to the world, and not for contributing for getting something extra. This is so my idea on it.
And it was also one of it's a bit the philosophy between changing the word member to contributor, because I'm contributing to something because I believe in it, no? And that's the spirit. We wanted to be very open and sharing, and a member means there are non-members, and if you don't belong to something, everybody is belonging, and some are ready to, and the more contributors we have, the more we can do. That's clear, but that needs to be very clear for everyone else as well. So I don't know how to make that clear for everyone.
May I? And this was the twist.
To you, Katty. Sorry.
Thank you. This was the twist. This was the moment that I got involved with SFiO, exactly because of this change between member, a closed group where we are only we, to contributors. Yes, I'm contributing to opening. So that, but maybe it's just my engagement. I don't want to block it. I just my reason to be here.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Marco.
Yes, I agree. Maybe yes, we can create two different groups about people that are inside as associated, so members, and people that also are associated and do something more, so contributor. In this way, for example, if we, as Italian chapter, we need to know if someone is inside or not, and so pay or not pay for the chapter. I can check on the SFi chapter, on the SFi website, and people that see their name just because they pay and they come inside, people can say yes, I want to come, as Lieselot said. So we can also create 2 different levels, or 3 different levels, or 4 different levels. But in this way, it's clear. If I, for example, I don't know how many Italians are inside in this SFiO, and so also we can see as a chapter how is the trend of people that become as members, maybe not contributors but members, and then it helps.
Yeah. Okay, Annie.
Just one last comment to make on this is at the moment, if you're a contributor, you should have access to the chapters easily, and you know when they're happening. They should be for free, even if possible. And then also that the contributors will have a say on what goes into the library. Their pieces will have an advantage. So there are more and more advantages to contributing that come in like that. You have the connection and the communication. If it's enough is the question, and this is something we can take offline.
Yeah. Just on the point of contributors on the website, etc. What we found was it was really difficult to change the names on the website. It looks like a 1-minute job. Actually, it was taking me 20 minutes to change a person's name on the website, and that's a lot when you're changing. So what we agreed at the last board was that we would make a PDF of the contributors, and those who are reviewed contributors will continue to have their own page on the website. That happens now. So there is a page for each reviewed contributor on the website, but the others will just be a PDF, and people can download that PDF. And I think what I'm hearing really is we need more coordination with the chapter heads to just make life easy for you. So we can do that as well. So I've made a note on that as well. But thank you, Lisa. It's a question we've had for a long time. How do we make it better? So we'll take it offline. We'll have a discussion on that. So there's a couple of things where I think we'll send out a note and just have another Zoom meeting on individual points. So see who's actually.
And a small correction, I can see there are 2 from Denmark because I'm not listed on the website. It's only Christian. So we are 2.
Okay, I think you're listed as Denmark, are you? Because I've got you down here as Denmark. Can we just put you as an international traveler of the world?
No, yeah, I just looked up Denmark and didn't find it. But I find, yes, it's good with a list. And if it's easier with a PDF list, please do so. I mean, it's important. I know it's all volunteer work. So it's also important to try to find some easy routines to keep it up.
Yeah, so that's what we get an Excel spreadsheet done by our the admin person who does the memberships or contribution, sorry, and we'll get that made into a PDF. Okay, so excuse me, sorry, just lost my place there. Online journal. Annie, would you like to talk about this? I've been talking a lot. All right.
We can share this. The new edition has just come out. I don't know if you've had a look at it. It'd be great to get your feedback on the journal. So we're getting very little feedback on the journal, and we're not sure. We feel that we're connecting a lot of people across the world with the journal, getting people to write together, to meet for the first time, as Kathy's like nodding, she met and Adam for this. So there's a lot of excitement around getting the articles ready, I have to say. And then we publish it with this like, yeah, it's out. And then, yeah, it'd be great to know what you think. And if it's along the right lines. And then this idea as well to connect the next journal with the Seoul World Conference, that we get a lot of materials, interviews, try to gather as much as possible to make a special edition of the journal would be interesting and nice. So these are ideas at the moment. It's not fully confirmed, but that's where we're moving with that. Anything to add, John? So Carrie is collaborating a lot with the journal. She's working hard with us, editing the articles, getting in touch with the authors.
Yeah. So any thoughts on interaction? Yeah, Kathy, you raised your finger.
I just wanted to make a voice for that. I could see a little bit of how much work is it in there. While I only had to talk for like half an hour, and how much Annie invested that such a cross-global conversation could happen, like Adam Freur and me. And I think that's so crazy cool. I just wanted to give that a voice.
Any other thoughts? Is it giving you?
It's wonderful.
Is it being used? Are people reading it, watching it? or are we just, I don't want to say wasting our time, because actually it's, I think it's a historic thing. It's something that is, now out there about solution focus, but, is it in line with what you want? Yes, Jesper?
Yes, I find it really valuable. I find it extremely good, well done, high professional quality. And for me personally, I actually try to, in Denmark, to pick out articles and elements and promote myself, what I'm doing. So I try to use it, take out interaction articles and say, hey, listen, here's a good case, or here's a good example. By the way, I'm working like that, So use, because it's very good backgrounds on the writings and the videos and stuff like that to, of course, spread the word of SF. And in that sense, try to make it attractive to other people. And in that sense, I don't get much respond on that, but I can see, for instance, on LinkedIn profile, and so it actually gets looked at.
Yeah. And that's important. It's if people use it, it's by going to an online journal, it gives people the facility to just click and share it with anyone they want to share it with.
And do you have a Google Analytics or something like that that can give you an idea of?
I'm not a techie, so I don't do analytics, but maybe Wim can tell us if that's doable.
No, it's just it's not 100% correct ever, but it could give an idea, of.
Okay, so we'll look into that. Thank you. Just type that up. Any other thoughts? Any other thoughts on the journal? No. Okay. So Anton isn't with us. Anton is in charge of the review process. He coordinates that. We had 2 finished reviews in 2018. That was Wim Suchet and Carlo Perfetto. I haven't actually seen Carlo's, but I worked on Wim's, and that was a great piece of work. So thank you for that, Wim. And we've got 3 reviews in progress at the moment. So Anton sent me a note beforehand to say several people have already told him that they're going to start their review process in 2019. And he would like to engage the chapter heads to stimulate more people to submit a piece of work and to inform all contributors via mail and our LinkedIn about the review process. And finally, to thank Stanis Klurter, Marika Tamaid, Aoki San, Katja Hankowski, Peter Rurig, Alan Kay, John Wheeler, myself and Jeff Matthews for acting as reviewers and doing a great job. And if any of you have not been a reviewer and you're interested, the requirement is we have at least one reviewed person is the lead reviewer. But then if people are experienced enough, we're having a secondary reviewer as well who contributes to it. So if you are interested, get in touch with Anton Stellemans, and I'm sure he'd be delighted to have some new people to do some reviewing. But I encourage all of you who are on this call to get yourself reviewed. It would be great to see that, because we've got some great tips.
May I ask a question for the review process? Do you have it depends on how many ask to be reviewed, of course. Do you have an estimated process time of how long it takes? Is that written on the page?
Well, I can give you an estimate because I've done a number of them. So with someone who's really keen, has done the work, we can do it in about 6 weeks.
Yep.
That's, they're really keen for it, and they've done everything. Other people, well, some people have started a year ago and still haven't finished, is all I can say, because other things come up in their life and then they get dragged away and they don't quite finish it. So, but I have to say the reviewers encourage and encourage and encourage. And that's the wonderful thing. It's a terrific thing to do. It's really enjoyable for the reviewers and the person who's reviewed. In fact, I'm going to ask Wim, what did you think, Wim?
Yeah, I was indeed thinking about my review process. I think about the time schedule is indeed how much work you put into it, how defined the subject is too, because mine was change facilitation, so that it had several parts. But I think it's very inspiring. You get a lot back from it, for being reviewed. It was very. I learned a lot by it, so I would recommend it to everybody. Actually, you have to do some work in it, but you get a lot back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kathy, I think you got.
Yeah, I enjoyed also very much the exchange before the final call then, and there was a lot of clarification happening for me as well, for my learning. And there was one point I just don't know when to bring it in, but it would be somehow great to use the reviewed pieces of work and give access during the Soul World conference to them. And I don't know how to, but I think it would be a real cool database or attraction thing for participants of the conference also to get involved with SFiO.
Yeah, we are encouraging people now to write articles for interaction when they've been reviewed, to actually write up their case as an article. It's not compulsory, but so far people are quite keen to do it. So we've had some good ones, and maybe one of the things we could do for the Soul World conference is get a couple of them printed, the interaction articles printed up as handouts for people, and maybe show the videos as well. From the global chapters, we've had global chapters of reviewed people as well. So yeah, we're trying to give people as much kind of awareness as possible. I know the Emma Burns in New Zealand was delighted with how we put it into interaction and her global chapter. So it's great that people are doing great work and it's hidden and we can bring it to the world. I mean, that's really, for me, is one of the big things SFiO should be doing. Let's put the spotlight on great work. Chris Becker, you're putting your hand up.
I am, sir. Thank you for your attention. Being the newest member, and we're speaking about a review, can you just quickly inform me, what is the review? What is the purpose of the review?
Thank you. Thank you for cutting through my assumptions that everyone knows. So, yeah, Chris, a review is that people have done a real piece of work in an organization. It has to be at least 9 hours of contact time with the organization. Often it's much, much more. WIMS was very much more than that. It was a whole project, and in fact still going on, I think. And then we have 2 people review. So the person puts their case into writing. What has happened, certainly with my ones, is that we then, as the reviewer and as the second reviewer, comment on that, go back to the person and tell them, yeah, this works, and here's some ideas. What did you think about this? So we do it in a very solution-focused way to bring out more and more of the learning. And that's what it is. It's a learning exercise. It's not an examination. It's a learning exercise to bring that out. And that then ends with a video conference like this, a Zoom conference, which we record, which is a online review of that case study. And we have a very positive gossip about the person and their work between the reviewer and the second reviewer. And we have a lot of interaction and discussion about it. But again, all done in a solution-focused way so that it brings out all of the learning. I learn a huge amount just from being a reviewer, so it's a really worthwhile thing to do. So does that give you an idea?
It does, and it almost seems invaluable for all of us to be reviewed or reviewing at some point.
Yeah, I guess you've got to do it and see it, and maybe that's one thing we could do is actually show the process and a video of the person being reviewed. So
thank you.
Wim, did I miss anything out there?
No, I think it's a great summary, which I experienced too. Yeah.
Good. Anyone
And what we
else?
now have as well, and I don't know to what extent it's being spread out, is the SFiO reviewed contributor symbol.
Yeah.
So that's something that anyone can add to their websites or to their LinkedIn profiles.
Yeah.
If you don't have it yet or you haven't received it, let us know and we can make sure it's maybe more integrated now, part of the review.
Yeah.
Which is a nice input to the talk that Seed talked about certification. This could be a nice way of going around that as well too.
Yeah, it would be a way to start on the road to a certification. It's what's valuable for people. Any others? Okay, so financial report. I posted this on Lumio, but just to give you a summary of that is our financials for this year. I'm just wondering, can I share my screen here? So let me just see if I can share my screen for you. Share. Yeah. Okay, can everybody see my screen now? Yes, good.
Yeah.
Good, thank you. So let me just try and make it a little bit bigger. All right, so this was at the 31st of December. I'll give you an absolute up-to-date from yesterday when I did the latest calculations, but the balance carried forward from 2017-18 was £6,577, whatever that is in your local currency. Contributions less Eventbrite fees is £5,526. Paul Jackson very kindly from the Soul World Oxford back in 2012 contributed the surplus from the company of £3,000. So a huge thank you to Paul for that. And then the UK chapter receipts, you can see there, it's just with being a bit particularly here, £59.65, but that was actually owed to me for mine paying out for the chapter room. The costs. The good thing is we are a very lean, if I can say that word, we're a very lean organization financially. The interaction now for January 2019 and 2018, July 2018, was £600. If we compare that with a print issue of about just under £2,000 per issue, you can see that it's also a lot more cost effective to do it online. That's actually gone up to about 675 now. We had some additional technical issues at the end. Then paying for the SF list costs us £120 or thereabout, £118.97. For the QuickBooks, for the monthly fee for QuickBooks, so I can keep the finances in order, is £198, and the website hosting fee is £147. To that, I've got to add about £120 for Zoom, and Lumio, again about £120. So actually our end of year is £13,713. So including some money going out to Romania for their video. So we're financially healthy. It's good to see. And it now gives us the confidence that we can start to do things like the library. Can we now purchase copyright on good articles if we have to? All those kind of things now is becoming possible. Also conference, and Paul's going to talk about the online conference coming up, I hope. So we're healthy is the good thing. If you want to know, last year we went to a spread contribution. The reason for the spread contribution was that we wanted SFiO to be open to everybody, not constrained by finance. So previously we had a £65 a year membership fee. We went to contributor, and now we allow contribution between £25 and £85. And on that screen there, you can see the number of contributors. At £85 is 16, £75 is 9, £65 is 24, £55 is 12, £45 is 16, £35 is 15, £25 is 25 people. That's 117. I think someone has joined since I made these figures up, since the 31st. So we have 118 in total. We did a calculation. If we had 117, and if we actually got 117 at £65, we would have made £1,500 more, but there's no guarantee we would have got more people. So some people are joining because it's a lower price. So those are the contributions. I've already said the contributions by country. Any thoughts? Any thoughts? I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Okay, so thoughts, finances. Paul.
It's lovely to see that we are healthy and that we can do more.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah. Paul.
Some of your figures there are monthly and some are annual.
Yeah, in which, sorry, do you mean in the transactions by category?
Yes.
Yes.
So if it's 200 a month for QuickBooks, for example, or something like that.
No. That's. I apologise. That should say QuickBooks annual fee. Thank you for spotting that.
Okay.
QuickBooks is £18 a month. The website,
so they're all. You've annualised them all, even if
I've
you're
annualised them all. Yeah, I apologise for that. Okay. Thanks for spotting that one. Yeah, it's the monthly fee that we're paying. So I shall change that immediately.
I have a very dumb question. Do we get reminders on when we should be making a contribution?
Yeah, because our year now starts in February, because our financial year from a legal point of view is from February the 1st. And it was causing me all sorts of problems last year because we were getting some money coming in January and some coming in February, and trying to show the books was really difficult. So we changed the contribution date. So you'll be getting that coming out from probably about February the 4th, I think. So I've got to get through all the admin of the AGM first and then move on to the membership stuff.
I was feeling guilty that I hadn't made my contribution.
No, you're absolutely fine. So, but thank you for feeling guilty, Alan. Appreciate it. Anybody else? Any comments?
Yes, I just wanted to make the comment on a beautiful understatement, calling this as healthy. It's something like booming. So it's doubling the whatever in a year. I think I won't call that healthy.
Yeah.
It's something more.
Well, we can thank Paul, as I say, for the £3,000 contribution from Seoul Oxford. But also, as I say, we have really driven down the cost everywhere. So anything I'm looking at, Annie and I have discussed the library. When we were discussing that, there were some outrageous prices, and we just said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to find a solution that is cheap. There was some £1,000 a month, for a library software. It's like, why would you do that? It's great for Shell or something. But
also, the online journal is saving us a lot of money.
Yeah, it's saving us about £3,400 a year.
So we've been very cautious, and I think it'll be important to be clear with the future contributors that we need to now spend money. So we need to. It will be a year of supporting the chapters more, and with the online journal, maybe just not only on the website but elsewhere as well. So these are all solutions that we're now going to look into more intensively, and also the design of the new website. All that's going to be costly this year.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of homemade kind of things, and now we can start to use professional. Paul, thank you.
Yeah, we are in a very healthy situation from these choices that we've made. Similar to the Applied Improvisation Network, got into a very healthy financial situation. It's quite easy to spend it all very quickly, particularly on things like websites and subscriptions to things. So I think it's good that we're thinking carefully about how we do that, not rushing into spending money, and that the choices are commensurate with the ambition. You've thanked me a couple of times for the 3,000. It's not my money, of course. It was from Sol 2012, and we were holding it on behalf of the community till there was an appropriate place to put it, which this now is.
Mm-hmm.
And we've put it there with a view to spending some of it at least on an online event, which we've talked about before and can talk about further. That's very much our money now.
Okay, thank you. So just moving on very quickly, voting for board members. Some of you will have seen, some of you may not have seen, but I sent out yesterday an apology. Somehow, and I'm still so embarrassed by how I managed to do it, but I managed to miss off Petra, who's a good friend, from the list of board members for voting. And so what I'm going to do is actually ask for an AGM vote for Petra, and I'll do that in a second. But Petra Muller-Demari is also a candidate for the board. This year, everyone has agreed to stay on, and the voting has come in for that, and I will publish that when we finished on Tuesday. I will publish that to everyone. Won't go through it now, but the good news is that Wim Suket from Belgium has volunteered to join the board, and really appreciate that, Wim. Know you're doing some great work with the website and with the library, and we've got a lot of experience in working in organisation as well, which I think is a major benefit. So Wim will be joining us. He's been voted in. You'll be pleased to know, Wim, you are voted in. So that's really it on the board, apart from the special vote for Petra. So just to make it all legal, I would like to ask if you could raise your hands, please, to vote for Petra. In fact, I tell you what, can I try an experiment? I've never done a poll. Nope, let me just, I'm just trying to edit this. Okay, I wish I hadn't done that. I'm not going to do that now. I've just lost everybody from the screen now. Can you see me?
Oh, yes. I can see you, yeah. Yes, what we could do is privately write a yes to John, and he would.
Yes, that would be great. Thank you. Could you? That's really a good idea, Annie. Thank you. I was just looking to see if I could get the poll, and now I've messed up.
So yes or no for Petra?
Okay, I can't actually see it.
Take your time.
Yeah.
No rush.
Okay, I've actually got a poll here. I'm going to finish it. So
if you look into your chat, you probably see everybody's answer.
Yeah, I can't get out of the poll though without actually finishing it for some reason. So no, I've made you know, one of those things you do on a spur of the moment and you really wish you hadn't done it. This is one of those moments. So please accept my apologies. I can't see you. Zoom has gone into some kind of screen that won't allow me to get out. So, and if I switch off, I lose all of you.
Does anyone know?
So, Paul, can I ask you please to talk about the, found you. Can, let's just see. Yeah, okay, Petra is voted on to the board. As you can see, I'm not the best at technical things. So, finally, Paul, you're going to talk about the online conference.
Yes, a very technical thing.
I apologize, not finding, but Paul, you're
very technical thing indeed, John. So be fast learning for you. We have currently a group of about 4 people talking in some detail about how this might advance. We talked about it also at the SFiO meeting in London and got a bunch of inputs, all of which are documented on a document that I referenced for the board meeting a couple of weeks ago. I don't have that to hand, but it is there in the archives or the minutes. So anyone wants to chip in on that idea, they're welcome to. The basic idea is that it will now be a 24-hour online conference so that it can move around the world in 8-hour chunks, and that some of the sessions will be live and unique to that geographical area, and others will be pre-recorded and available to all of the different time zones. So some sessions will be repeated, and they'll consist of interviews on a theme yet to be decided, with people yet to be decided, in a format yet to be decided. Financial implications: it will cost something to set up and promote, but not an enormous amount. And it should be also a good way, I think, of attracting interest, recording and gathering information, and probably inspiring further contributors, both practical and financial contributors to this body of work.
Thank you, Paul. Any thoughts, comments on that? Raise your hands if you want to speak on that. Cathy?
You might be aware that Dominic Cotta and Elfie Czerny did an online conference this autumn. Sorry?
Yes, in German, yeah?
Yeah, in German. So loads of experience from there. Maybe useful. And as an attendee of that conference, I recognized how much of that it was an enormous amount of information, and much less, I think, is already very valuable. So you just feel free to go on, even if it's not everything covered and everything there. I think doing it is great and good enough,
Yeah.
even if you don't flood the word.
Yeah, thank you. Certainly aware of Dominic, and we'll tap into his experience, and it'll be as big or as small as people want it to be.
Yeah.
And this idea of the theme being very clear and maybe not too big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be a theme that speaks to the world beyond people who already know about solution focus.
Mm-hmm.
So something like leadership or change, or a word that's out in the world, rather than the use of scaling in single sessions. World conference.
Okay. So, thank you, Paul. Any other comments on the online conference? So just a couple of other things.
One comment or one question.
Dave. Yeah.
Yeah, you might have already mentioned. When is the plan, the timing for this? Do you know? Sorry if that was already said. I missed it.
2019.
Okay. Somewhere within those 360 something days. Okay. Well.
Those that are left.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Okay.
26 of them are already gone.
Yeah, indeed. So just a couple more points and we'll be finished by 11:30. Is our time is an idea for the 3rd of May. You may know the 3rd of May is SF World Day, has been designated SF World Day by our Swedish colleagues. And one idea is for an ebook, an SFiO ebook, which would be, and this is again, like Paul's is still in the development phase, but the idea is that we have all the contributors, or a lot of contributors, provide a page or two on something useful for leaders in organizations to do with SF. It might be a tool, it might be a philosophical discussion on leadership, or whatever it is, but something. So what we're looking for is some people who would like to join in and help organize that. because just knowing from interaction how much work there is in getting an interaction up, then getting an ebook together is going to take some work as well. So I will be going out after this, but I'd just like to get thoughts from people. Do you think this is a worthwhile idea? It's to help publicize SFiO, and it would be for our contributors then to be able to send that out to all of their contacts in organizations. This leaves a lot, maybe a way of we can give something back to contributors. Addition is that they get the opportunity to send it to all of their people in their organizations. So thoughts on that? Do you like the idea? Is it a rotten idea? It's my idea, so please say it's rotten, I don't mind. So I'm used to it. Jesper?
Yeah, I love the idea. And an ebook is also, if you have 10 contributors, it's good enough, you know. So you don't have to make it big. It can grow if there's a lot of people who wants to join in, and it's also very attractive if it's fewer people.
Yeah.
So I think it's an easy success, if I may say it so.
Okay.
And would be great to be in it, would be great also to have it and to be able to pass it on to others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the idea. It's something to share between ourselves, but also to go out to organizations easily. No cost involved in printing extra copies. Annie?
I'm just thinking to really look at what organizations would be interested in, a nice variety of articles, and then to look at what's already there and how to put it together as well, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel either.
I have a list of 100 topics of issues with teams from leaders in organizations that I wrote and said, what are your top 3 issues with teams? So that might be a way of seeding the themes. Anyone else? Chris, you look like you were...
I think it's a phenomenal idea. I really like it. I think it's very respectful to the clients and for the organizations, and for them to feel like their needs are being so personally and directly addressed by the people working with them it's fantastic. It's lots of coins in the trust bank for us. I think it's a great idea.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. And again, we'll get people together who are interested in developing that, and we'll do an offline from this. We'll do an online Zoom. The final thing is on the 3rd of May, we were thinking that it would be nice to do something from SFiO. If there is an SF World Day, let's get ourselves out there as well. And so we came up with the idea of an online coffee morning. So really informal, would last an hour or 2, and anyone who can make it just comes in. The only rule is that you have to have a cup of coffee, or for the British, the cup of tea. So, or if you're in Singapore and it's in the evening, a glass of wine. Whatever you want to bring along. Okay, but it's just come along and we can have people chat, and we can seed a few discussion points so that people can have some discussions about solution focus. These are up.
Yes, I just wanted to share that there is some exchange going on, initiated from the solution focus professionals in Belgium, that on that day they want to bring solution focus also to the bigger world, also on the political agenda. So they're really serious about it. They want to perhaps interview some people from non-profit organizations or other organizations, schools, to show what it is that we do and what difference it makes. And they also had the intention to do a kind of debate or organize journalists. So they have big ideas. I really think it's fantastic, but
yeah, sounds great.
I'm a little bit skeptical as how they're going to organize it. But I want to contribute to that if it's possible. We are thinking about it now at Ilfaro also, because we have many clients who do wonderful things in the world using solution focus. So how can we make it known in the big world? Just wanted to share that.
That's great. And maybe there's some tie-in with the ebook, because an ebook, I'm thinking, I don't know, can you put video short videos in ebooks. I have no idea, but something like that, or write something for the ebook so they could do it in that way as well. And the other question is, Lieselotte, is there a way SFiO could help with that? Something we could bring to the board to help sponsor that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe that's the kind of thing we should start looking at putting some money into. So.
Mm-hmm.
So please, any ideas that you have, we really welcome ideas. We need people to help as well. It's never just saying we've got this idea, can you please implement it? But yeah, if you've got ideas and you're willing to put time in, then please bring them to us so that we can help you get them off the ground. Cathy.
Wowing on the Belgium thing, and just already before the World Day came out as an idea, the Swiss Association for Solution Focus put their annual conference, oh no, it's biannual actually, on those dates. So there will be a solution focused conference running in Switzerland on that day. And I somehow would like to figure out with you guys how we could link the people who are actually there into this. But yeah, that's a funny coincidence.
We could come into your coffee break for the coffee.
Yes, or vice versa somehow. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, we'll work it out. So, any other points? I see it's 11:30. That's finish time. Anyone like to? Okay, so I'm just going to do a very fast run round and just ask people, what's one thing that you're looking forward to in SFiO in the next year? What's something, if you were really happy about SFiO, that you would notice in the next year? Does that question make sense? So shall I do it in a really SF way? Imagine it's the 31st of December 2019 and you're looking back and SFiO delivered something for you. What would we notice that we delivered? Okay. Everyone got that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone like to raise their hand? Go, Jesper.
SFiO have delivered an ebook.
Okay.
Which is quite exceptional because it's based on the wishes of managers in organizations, based on actually John Brooker's idea with asking managers, what are your top 3 issues, being a manager in an organization. So all the articles are carefully selected from that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it turns out that SFiO actually want this as an annual event, making a small ebook and publish it each year.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, someone else.
Many SFiO contributors introduced in the last minute an offer for the Solved conference in Budapest. It was just the day that we were gathering. They had some 3 or 2 days more to write it. And many SFiO contributors participated at the conference. And during those days, somehow it got even more clear how Solved and SFiO go about spreading the word together in the future.
Okay, thank you. Someone else?
I see myself running the French chapter at least. And maybe, yeah. Just the SFiO just continue to be what it is already, and it will give me all the inspiration and the belief that it's possible. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jerry. Someone else?
We're looking forward to the second online conference.
Great, good. Someone else?
I imagine a space where company and consultant can meet inside the SFiO. So a space like a group, like in Solning, where company come and write and say, I have this problem, what do you think about? And could be a form of sharing and create something new, and also to start to collaborate more.
Thank you, Marco. Cheers. Alan.
The people who are masters of things like Agile and so on, are starting to talk about SF and SFiO in ways that they can show how helpful it is to their business. So we infiltrate organizations, not just from the top down.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Anyone else? Someone
Yes,
else? These a lot.
It's just a crazy idea that just popped in my mind. We have a yearly boot camp for young leaders of non-profit organizations to start to help them kick off with solution focus so they can do something really valuable in the world.
Wow, nice one. Yeah, someone else?
Yes, this is Stefan speaking. It would be fantastic, you know, and this comes back to the ebook, if we would have something which we could present to managers which resonates with them. You know, they read it and say, oh, that's fantastic. You know, I'm not an expert in SFiO, I'm a traditional manager, but if we could provide something where they say, wow, oh, that's fantastic. It's easy to, you know, to pick it up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Someone else? Wendy.
I joined the Best Hope for what I call a dynamic ebook that arouses curiosity for leaders and makes a difference. And also, that the chapters come more and more alive all over the world, so that we have a larger platform to start from and to develop.
Thank you. Someone else? Wim.
Yeah. Well, that a renewed website in which everything who we are, for whom we stand for, what difference do we want to make in the world and organizations, that it can be translated in the way we build up our websites, so that it's coherent. So that's my best hope, I think.
Thank you. Tim.
My best hope is that SFiO will have reviewed a piece of my work and approved it. And in addition to that, my best hope is that there'll be, as there already are, there are a lot of fantastic resources that will help engage people who aren't in the know about SF in organisations and capture their interest and open doors for further collaboration.
Thank you. Who else?
I think I'd like to see using our resources much more resources available from a marketing perspective to draw people in and to get solution focus as a practice in organizations out there is one of the things that really does make a difference.
Thank you. Who else?
Okay. As a result of the World Conference and the SF World Day and the ebook, new contributors are drawn in from Philippines, Malaysia, Hong Kong, and the numbers in Singapore and Malaysia grow because they see the opportunity and the benefits from SFiO.
Good. Any more? Sorry, Chris, yeah.
For me, honestly, just being new to this and hearing all the ideas, my brain is very stimulated. And my best hope is at the end of the year, if we have this kind of meeting on the 31st and we share good news, it's just that the ambitions that we've put forward now are realized. And we can share back about how fruitful the year has been in the fact that we've actually done the things we've set out and planned to do.
Good, thank you. Annie.
I think my best wish, if you want, for 2019 is that somebody at the end of the year comes up to me and says, do you know about SFiO? I think you should really register and contribute. And if somebody asks me that without knowing how much I'm already contributing, but just in small talk situations that people are talking about it, it's kind of the gossip. I'd be very, very pleased with the efforts we put into it, and that it's a good place to be. I think that we would have the feel that we're looking for, looking at you, Wim, as well on the website. You know, it's coherent and people are talking about it.
Mm-hmm. And I think for me, just seeing more people came out to say, yeah, we want to be involved in this. That looks interesting, fun, exciting, whatever their reasoning. But more people come forward and contribute their time. So that will be my fervent best hope. So on that note, anyone else? No? Good. So I apologize, we're 9 minutes over time, but the AGM is now drawn to a close. I hope you found it informative and interesting. Those people who are watching afterwards, if indeed anyone watches afterwards, I hope you also will find it. What I'll do is I'll just do a very short summary of the meeting and what the ideas that came out of it. So any other final points before I say goodbye?
Thank you, John.
Thank you,
Thank you
Tim.
very much.
Okay, we'll do Andrew's bye-bye.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, ciao.
Bye.
Thanks.
Ciao. Thanks, Joe.
No.
My mouse is not working. Okay, here we go. Bye-bye.
Turn off the recording.